Good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of Medicaps Innovation and Incubation Center and eCell of Medicaps University, I, Dr. Anjali Soni, welcome all of you in today's webinar on orientation session on innovation by Innovation Ambassador. First of all, I am pleased to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. D.K. Patnaik, Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. D.K. Panda, Registrar, Dr. Pradyuman Yadav, all the respected deans, all the head of the department, head of MIIC, Dr. Sarita Kansal, head of eCell, Professor Ramjam Singh sir, all the faculty members, today's speaker, Mr. Kratik Rathi, and all the participants. Medicaps is one of the brand names in the arena of technical education and is contributing in making Indore an education hub. Since July 2000, Medicaps aims at creating an ideal ambience for budding technocrats and helping them to grow like true professionals. In year 2015, we got the approval from UGC to be a self-financed university, and admission for SAM started in 2016. Since then, we have included many other courses such as engineering, management, agriculture, pharmacy, commerce, science, arts, etc. Since we have created our own brand in the center of India, till date more than 12,000 students have been passed out from Medicaps and are working globally, and 7,000 students currently studying in various programs. Now I invite Dr. Sarita Kansal, Professor in charge, Medicaps Innovation and Incubation Center, to have an insight about MIIC. Over to Dr. Sarita Kansal.
Thank you, Dr. Anjali Soni. Medicaps Innovation and Incubation Center, which is also known as MIIC, was established in the year 2018 with the aim of provoking innovation and backing startups. We believe in setting the stage for energetic, enthusiastic, and aspiring entrepreneurs. We encourage talents and innovators, and opportunities provided to the potential change makers, thereby contributing towards a positive change. MIIC supports technical, non-technical ventures and lab stage innovation. This paves the path for the potential business ideas to reach to the market. As we know, the innovation is playing important role in our day-to-day life. Whether you are observing this or not, on the daily basis also, we can do the innovation in our small things. But what we need to do, we need to change our mindset. We need to change our observation. We need to change our attitude. So there is a little shift which is required for the innovation. So without wasting much time, I will hand over this platform back to our moderator, Dr. Anjali Soni, to proceed further.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We have with us today's speaker, Mr. Kratik Rathi. Mr. Kratik Rathi is a recent student pursuing Bachelor's in Information Technology from Medicaps University, Indore. In the past, he has worked as an intern and multiple projects for prestigious companies. He was part of the team that established the Carpool app in conjunction with Ultratech Cement and has also boosted his startup skills in conjunction with Medicaps Innovation and Incubation Center. As a result of this internship, he has secured a complex skill set that includes being proficient in languages such as C, C++, HTML, Python, Kotlin, and XML. He is also extremely well versed in the workings of the Windows operating system, Android Studio, Canvas, and WordPress. Apart from this impressive skill set, he is currently the student in charge of startups at the MIIC. Upholding these positions of responsibilities in the MIIC, he was part of the team that organized and spearheaded the virtual hackathon. This was the first ever virtual festival conducted by the Medicaps Innovation and Incubation Center. He has always been passionate about exploring advancements in innovation and technology. He has currently just finished his second year of BTech IT and is here today to share his thoughts on innovation with us. I am very much pleased to invite such an active innovation ambassador. Over to Mr. Kratik Rathi.
Thank you, Anjali ma'am. First of all, I would like good afternoon, everyone present here. So today's our point of discussion is importance of innovation. The purpose is to create awareness about the audience, what innovation is, and world had opted for innovative solutions faster than before. The objective is connecting our definition about innovation with industrial experts, and ultimately business houses handle innovation to create value out of it. Students shall more focus on conceptualizing innovation to put their mindsets in the drawing. The points of discussion on today's topic will be what is innovation first, second, 10 types of innovation, third, innovation value chain, fourth, business model innovation, fifth, what is innovation strategy in business. This is a small video which I found which will help you understand innovation better.
What is innovation? Life is made up of dots. Many, in fact most people, believe that the dots they see every day are all the dots there are. So life goes along according to these known dots. Decisions and solutions are based on these commonly known dots, as well as many conclusions too. Some companies build their entire businesses on these known dots. This we know as the status quo, business as usual. Then one day, someone comes along and sees one or more dots beyond the commonly agreed upon dots. Dots that others missed, dots that are ignored, dots that others have long since forgotten about. Some like these new dots and celebrate this new discovery, liking how things currently are and comfortable with everyday dots. Some protest these new dots. Some even claim they are invalid, or worse, are imaginary dots that don't even exist. Yet, it's these new dots that potentially change everything. What is the source of these new dots? Notions. Unexpected connections. Ideas. Possibilities. And imagination. Fire was one of these dots. So is the wheel. And the bicycle. And the automobile. And the computer, as well as the internet, the smartphone, and the tablet. In fact, many of today's common dots were at one time uncommon, newly introduced dots. So what is innovation? Those other dots, the ones others miss, and having the certainty to know that the dots you see are not only valid, but necessary if the world is to move forward.
So, if you ask 10 people to define innovation, you will get 20 different responses. It's one of those things that seems simple to define and understand, but turns complicated when you are pressed by for specifics. It's no wonder innovation has turned to be one of the biggest cliche words executives use to talk about how they differentiate their companies and lead industries, but never actually define or explain. The truth is, we don't have a common agreed upon definition of innovation. That's because people have a hard time understanding and recognizing it, much less defining it. So my question to all of you is, just like in the video, innovation is the dots which seem impossible at one time are now the present. So what exactly innovation? What exactly is innovation according to you? Any ideas? Anyone want to answer it?
You can answer to your chat box, or you can raise your hand to answer. Dear participants, you may answer via chat box, or you can raise your hand so that we can unmute you.
We have got a response. Turning idea to a solution. Okay. Any more? So moving on. So this is the diagram on what is innovation. What is innovation? The first and the foremost design thinking, where you have to think of the problems. The solution can be new or an improved version of today's solution. So this diagram, it shows the innovation, the types of innovation. First, we have to create a design thinking, what problem you are facing or what exactly you want to improvise in the solution. There are three type of innovation which intersection of them provides innovation. First intersection is people and technology, which leads to functional innovation. Second is business viability or technology feasibility, which leads to process innovation. People and business lead to emotional innovation, and all three combined intersection leads to experience innovation. One example you can take of experience innovation is Ola. We all had taxi system in India. Ola used to digitalize it so that they can get the customer taxi pre-book and they can give a better experience. This leads to experience innovation and it covers all the topics. Moving next. Here are the three industry experts defining innovation according to them. By Fast Company, innovation is the process through which value is created and delivered to a community of users in the form of a new solution. McKinsey and Company we define innovation as creative plus delivery, helping our clients transform their innovation performance by focusing on four requirements for innovating at scale: strategy, pipelining of ideas, execution, and organization. Department of Industry of Australia government defines innovation generally refers to changing processes or creating more effective process, products, and design. As you can see, different industry experts define innovation differently. Here, another type of innovation is like innovation is not just restricted to coming with new ideas or coming with new solutions. Innovation can also lead to transformative innovation in which the current solution is more improved. Disrupting products or services. A product is there in the market and you come up with another product which disrupts its market. So it can be disrupting innovation. Transfer innovation that it is applying by you are adapting some solution from other industries or other sector into your thing for innovation solution. You adapt your solution to improve it. So innovation is the process of creating value by applying novel solutions or meaningful problems. The reason we believe it has utility is then three explicit tests for innovativeness we can apply. So what is proposed definition of innovation? Is it novel? Does it solve a meaningful problem? Or does it create value? Definitions matter. It's hard to have effective discussion and build on concepts without them. And the best definition offer utility. Mention the word innovation in a corporate context, and you are likely to see some eye rolling. The word innovation has turned into something of a buzzword whose application is so broad and nebulous that it often feels useless. It won't take much Googling to see the definition of innovation that is widely. Here are some of the selected I have taken from the net. Some define application of ideas that are novel and useful is innovation. Great idea executed brilliantly and communicated well is innovation. Introduction of new products and services that add value to an organization is innovation. We can see that there is a much difference in each of the definition, and every industry expert or anyone that defines innovation defines it according to him. There are good concepts in those definitions, but none seem to strike the right balance of clarity, utility, and brevity. We need to keep it simple and understand it. So according to me, innovation is exactly which answers any two of this. If it answer is it novel and does it solve a problem, then it is innovation. Does it solve a problem and a meaningful problem? Does it create value? And also it is an innovation. Innovation is not restricted to just and according to you. Innovation can be anything. 10 types of innovation. 1 minute. Just short find. So it also points out that at least where we are concerned, innovation is a process. It's not the result itself per se, But the path to get there, we know it's possible to innovate unsuccessfully. There's plenty of evidence that innovations often fail. What's key is that you're seeking to create value by applying a novel solution to a meaningful problem. According to this definition, innovation isn't limited to the commercial context. Non-profit can be innovative. Their value creation metric is simply different. Moving to next. Here, categorization of innovation is 10 types of under innovation wheel. The same has been categorized into 3 broad categories: configuration, offerings, and experience. First, we will take configuration. As you can see, the first 4 types of innovation center around the configuration of the company and all the work that happens behind the scenes. Although innovation types in this category are not different, directly customer facing, as you see in the examples that I'm going to speak about, this can still have an important impact on the customer experience. How your company and products are organized can have a crucial downstream effect, even enabling innovation in other areas. First, we will take profit model. So the profit model innovation was one of the example is done by the New York Times. The New York Times pivoted from its traditional ad-driven media model to digitalize user subscription. Network innovation was done by Ford. Henry Ford was one of the first industrialists to control his entire supply chain, a strategy later called vertical integration. Towards the structure, Google's 20% rule, which allows employees to work on side projects, led to the creation of Gmail and Google News. Process innovation. McDonald's franchises also encouraged to develop and launch their own food new items, leading to wins such as the egg muffin. When McDonald's is one such a good example, like in India especially, it encourages the veg burgers or veg breakfast snacks. Thus, it has been providing innovation and which you cannot find in foreign countries. Moving on to next to offering. When most people think of innovation, it's likely to the offering category that comes to mind. Making improvements to product performance is an obvious but difficult type of innovation, and unless it's accompanied by a deeply ingrained company culture. Towards technical innovation, such advancements may only create a temporary advantage against the competition. This is the part of reason that companies focus on combining multiple areas of innovation together. It creates a much more stable economic mode. One such example is Apple. Apple has a reputation for innovation, but the product ecosystem highlighted above is an underappreciated piece of company strategy. By putting thought into the ecosystem of products and ensuring they work together flawlessly, additional utilities created, by also making it harder for customers to switch away from Apple products. Moving to the third type, experience. These types of innovation are the most customer facing, but this also makes them the most subject of interpretation. While other innovation tend to occur upstream, innovations in experience are get tired in the hands of customer. For this reason, intense care is needed in ruling these ideas. In experience, one such example is Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime comes with free expedited shipping, which can have products come as far as within 2 hours in some metro cities. Taking up second example, Nespresso. Nespresso locks in customers with its Nespresso Club, as well as ongoing sales of single-use coffee pods. Moving on. So what is innovation value chain? Innovation value chain is the continuous process in which you have to first go with the idea generation, then how you will execute it then it will lead to next step, how you execute it, that is conversation. And last is how you will spread your innovative idea or your solution to the market. It's called diffusion. Idea generation is creating and sourcing new ideas from internal and external environments to achieve a competitive advantage in the marketplace, which leads to conversion, selecting and screening the best idea and implementing them. And this involves transforming knowledge into innovations in the form of new products, processes, organizational forms. Special focus should be placed on the company budget and strict funding criteria to avoid shutting down the development of the idea. This ultimately leads to diffusion. Diffusion is spreading the idea across the organization, find the relevant communities in the organization to support and spread the new product or service, process, and practices across the geographic location and consumer groups and channels. So, what is innovation strategy? Most companies know they must innovate to keep up the market's pace of change. With technological advances disrupting all industries, companies must innovate in order to stay relevant, not to be left behind. But what does business innovation exactly mean? And what are some examples of it in practice? According to innovation strategy in business, innovation strategy for a company and innovation strategy is the implementation of formalized innovation approach in order to achieve predefined objectives, generally to stay straighten its competitive. So, what exactly happens in the company is like if the upper department has chosen that this is the innovative solution they have come up with. So, what exactly they had to do is they had to this idea has to go down to the every below and every member of that company so that they can work on that innovative solution so that everyone is on the same page. This leads to this leads help to innovate a strategy in business. So business innovation can be found on three different areas. First is marketing, second is technological, and third is organization. Business innovation is when companies implement new processes, ideas, services, or products with the goal of boosting the bottom line. It could mean launching new and improved products or services, which can lead to higher revenue, making an existing process more efficient, or solving a current business problem. A business focus of brainstorming, design thinking, or the establishment of innovation lab can drive business innovations. The key element of innovation is that it drives revenue of the company. Up to this point, we understood what is innovation and how businesses see it. So my question to all is, a big question is, how does business convert innovation to value creation? You can answer on the chat or raise your hands.
प्रतीक अपना क्वेश्चन रिपीट कर दो.
Now, big question is, how does business converts innovation to value creation?
Yes, anybody like to answer? You can put your answer in the chat box.
So I got no answer, so I'm moving on.
You answer, Pratik.
So in the further slides, we will see how the innovation leads to business value creation. So innovation offers companies four main benefits. Here it is essential for giving a direction to follow for the actions to be undertaken. Ensure cohesion is the achievement of objectives and set priorities. Make good use of key resources. So what exactly happens is, first is getting ahead of potential disruption. Business innovation takes stock of where the market is going to do to potential disruptors or changing consumer demands. Businesses use that information to make strategic changes and to entice internal employees to be entrepreneurs. Those changes can include building a product or service similar to what new startups are making, buying it from others in the industry, or partnering with the upstarts as the build partner model. So exactly in this happens is like many startups are focusing on new solution that is currently a problem or outdated version of the solution. So many known companies do that. They either hire startup or they take the share of that startup so that they can support as a startup as well as that solution will be done under them. This is one. Second, increase efficiency. A lot of business innovation happens by making existing business processes less costly, less time consuming to complete, and more sustainable. Those changes save time and make it easier for an organization to adapt to industrial shift with agility, which cushions against volatility and risk. Third is talent attraction and retention. More than ever, employees, particularly millennials and Gen Z, make to work for mission-driven, fast-moving companies that they believe have bright future. As we all know, we always target the companies that are having bright future or the companies that are going to grow a lot and the companies that are well known and they are not going to fail. They attract the talent, and there's also this lead to innovation in the businesses. Fourth is brand perception. Consumers are more willing to buy from companies that perceive to be innovative and socially conscious. In this, company should be socially conscious that they know what exactly the consumers need. So this also leads to business innovation and value creation. So why innovative business? There are four main points: the rapid evolution of trends, market volatility, a number of growing competitors, changing users, increasingly connected consumers, etc. Also, it constantly adapt and reinvent itself. Businesses also constantly adapt and reinvent themselves, detect and seize new opportunities, and become more attractive or more efficient. This can be understand in a very simple example: the mobile evolution. 10 years ago, which type of mobiles we were having, and what type of mobiles are being built at this time. 10 years ago, we were known for we were having companies like BlackBerry, Nokia, which are in lot of demand. At that particular time, they were targeting voice and the data security, but the consumers were asking for the data sets or the storage that can lead to data set to be holded and large storage, which they had not invented, so they became outdated and was thrown out of the competition. Dataset was given by Samsung and iPhone, and still they are in the competition and they are continuously adapting themselves for the as per the consumer need. But recently, as we can see, the Samsung the era has changed to the gaming or the high-end mobile apps, which require the powerful processors, which iPhone has adapted to, but Samsung is lagging behind as it is using the outdated processors like Exynos in competition with Snapdragon. Thus, people are now gradually stopping to use the Samsung mobile unless they have the daily needs and they are not using high-end devices. So, how does innovation work in business? Like innovation strategy is important. Clarify priorities and goals. Foster alignment. Keep a business from resting on its laurels. Keep a business achieve long-term success. Four steps of in developing an innovation strategy are: align innovation with business strategy. Determine your value proposition. In the value proposition, to answer those questions, a company must understand its core capabilities. Third is learn the unmet needs of your customers. And fourth is assess and adjust. The best strategy plans are always flexible. Take time to assess the effectiveness of your innovation strategy by crowdsourcing among employees. This step can lead you to with a sustainable feedback loop to gauge the validity of your plan and adapt it as necessary. As customer needs and market needs changes, be willing to adapt your innovation strategy to better fit reality. Continue crowdsourcing for employee input and adjust your strategy to meet current needs. Types of innovation business can be: moving on, types of business innovation. Business innovation can but doesn't have to involve the creation of a new product or service. There are many examples of innovation in business, including product innovation, in which creating a completely new product that's adjacent to a business core offering. Think of Dyson extending into hand dryers or Apple launching the smartphones. Second is process innovation. Designing a new way to be more efficient is the core business. Example of this include Amazon using robots in the warehouse or Chase Bank implementing mobile check deposit. Third is marketing innovation and fourth is organizational innovation. Moreover, there are two more types of innovation. First is business model innovation, introducing a new way of making or saving money, such as Zipcar, launching car sharing subscription or rent a runaway, offering a subscription service for clothing rental. Another is delivery innovation, implementing a new way of interacting with customers. This happens when a company like Zappos puts customer service first, or Tesla makes it possible to buy cars online. As you can see, the Tesla is providing a cryptocurrency as to buy their cars online. These types of business innovation enables company to become more efficient, forward thinking, and hopefully more profitable. The good news for company is that there are practical steps to jumpstart innovation. So, as recent COVID times lead to us all moving to the education in online mode, new trends have emerged in this. First is outcome-based learning. New technologies and online learning transforming the way in which universities deliver education. The speed of technological innovation will require higher education to adapt to newer learning methodologies and prepare students for job roles of the future. Second is investing in continuous learning. With automation and AI threatening some of the today's job, individuals need to rethink about their investment in their career development. Learning organizations are now personally education to ensure that students are constantly motivated, driven towards a culture of continuous learning. Features such as peer learning through community forums, teaching assistants, and mentorship are great methods to help students complete courses successfully. Third is gamification. As students, recent time we have also, and the study has also observed that gamification, students are more attracted to learn through the games, and so the education system or the educational businesses are adapting to create a digital platform where you learn from the games or through the game module. Fourth is microlearning. Another new trend is to cooperate is the use of bite-sized learning models. Microlearning involves small, specific bursts of content with one clear learning pathway. Breaking up long, in-depth lessons into small, digestible chunks is the perfect for keeping employees engaged during longer, conventional e-learning modules. Innovation matrix. In this, there are 4 types of innovation matrix. In simple words, I can say that as we see the graph, the technology news and impact of market. So if the technology news is low and also the impact market is also low, so it will lead to incremental innovation. If the technology newness is more and the impact of market is less, it will lead to radical innovation. If the impact of market is more and the newness in technology is low, then it will lead to sustaining innovation. And if the technology is also new and the market impact is also new, high, so it will lead to disruptive innovation. For sustaining innovation, you can take many of the car brands which are famous and still sustaining in the market, which though they are outdated. For example, is Scorpio. And for disruptive, you can take an example of Kia, which has come in new into market with technology newness, and also it has a great impact on the market. This is example through which you will understand the innovation matrix. Innovation matrix is one way to categorize innovation is to classify it based on 2 dimensions: the technology it uses and the market it operates in. We can use the innovation matrix to visualize the most common types of innovation. So overall, what all I have covered is summary of in this video. As we all know, there are 2 types of people in the world. First, who understand by listening to a speaker, and second, who understand by visual representation. So it is a small summary. I'm playing it.
Have you ever wondered why hyper-successful companies like Nokia or Kodak suddenly lose their edge? Or how could firms like Commodore Computers, Grundig, Nakamichi, Newsweek, or Polaroid possibly fail? Did they not have abundant R&D resources, top employees, and profound knowledge of their markets? Yes. But they had another thing in common. They all missed the moment when they should have left their successful path to rethink their business model. They missed out on radical innovation because they were too busy managing daily business and serving current clients instead of envisioning future opportunities. In other words, today's success is the enemy of tomorrow's success. The innovation cycle spins faster than ever in nearly all industries. Innovation either increases the customer value of a product or service, or it lowers their costs, and therefore creates a competitive advantage. Apple, for instance, creates a high perceived customer value with its innovative new products, and Dell reduces its costs and working capital through build-to-order processes. But even though its importance is undisputed, there are many misconceptions about innovation. 3 myths are particularly pervasive. First, innovation stems from ideas nobody has had before. Second, big success requires big resources. And third, innovation breakthroughs are always based on fascinating technologies. Luckily, they are all wrong. IBM did not invent the personal computer. Apple did not invent MP3 technology, and Amazon did not invent the online bookstore. Successful innovators learn and recombine. whereas the pioneers get eaten by the wolves. Cisco had virtually non-existent R&D resources, but out-innovated the largest research lab in the world, AT&T's Bell Labs. 14 of today's 25 most innovative firms have innovated their business model, and not just their technology. Take firms such as Google, Amazon, or eBay. Great algorithms, yes, but it is the business model, not just the technology, that is responsible for their success. So, what exactly is a business model innovation? A business model provides answers to 4 questions. Who is your target customer? What do you offer to the customer? How do you create the value proposition? And how do you generate revenue? And a business model innovation changes at least two of these 4 dimensions. In our research, we've looked at all major business model innovations in the past 50 years. They have all revolutionized one or several industries. For instance, IKEA has redefined the way we buy furniture. TomTom has transformed the navigation business, or eBay has changed the world of trade. Yet only 10% of these business model innovations were novel and introduced new business model patterns. The other 90% merely adapted, refined, or combined these patterns. For instance, innovative companies often apply creative imitation. They ask themselves, how could a business model innovation from another industry revolutionize our own industry? In total, we have identified 55 business model patterns that are responsible for all business model innovations. For example, flat rate, supermarket, rent instead of buy, experience selling, e-commerce, or the razor and blade pattern. Let's have a look at this one. Since 1904, Gillette has been giving away razors for next to nothing, but selling its blades at obscenely high prices. Nespresso creatively imitated this pattern, selling cheap coffee machines and expensive coffee, and revolutionized the coffee industry. And many other companies applied the razor and blade pattern too. Remember Apple's iTunes, Amazon's Kindle, or Hewlett-Packard's inkjet printers? Now, what do you have to do to innovate your business model? We advise you to follow 4 steps: initiation, ideation, integration, and implementation. During initiation, you analyze your current business model. Again, who is your target customer? What do you offer to the customer? How do you create the value proposition? And how do you generate revenue? During ideation, you confront this business model with the 55 business model innovation patterns and develop new models. How would Nespresso conduct your business? Or is there a match between your product and the experience selling pattern? Challenge your basic assumptions and the dominant logic of your industry. But don't try to reinvent the wheel. Instead, use analogies and learn from other industries. During integration, you need to check the consistency of the business model. This is important detail work where you examine all 4 questions regarding organizational fit. Finally, during implementation, it is time to awaken the beast. But be careful. In iterative cycles, you design a business model, build a pilot, test the pilot, and return to the design phase. It is important to not only gain qualitative and quantitative data to verify or falsify your assumptions about your new business model, but also not to forget about the soft factors of innovation. Thanks to incorrect management behavior and organizational resistance, more than 70% of all change initiatives fail. Therefore, keep a few rules in mind. First, only implement one business model at a time. Second, clearly communicate the new business model and the need for change. Third, don't overemphasize short-term KPIs. Innovation needs time. Fourth, get top management commitment. Without their sponsorships, business model innovation is doomed to fail. And finally, overcome the not invented here syndrome. Got that? Let's wrap it up then. Innovation is the key factor to defeat path dependency and stay competitive in today's economy. Yet, innovation is not necessarily about new technologies, excessive research and development, or about creating completely new ideas. Most of the time, innovation is about learning from others and reinventing your business model, not just your technology. This can be done in a structured process of initiation, ideation, integration, and implementation. You analyze your business model, apply the 55 innovation patterns, check for inconsistencies, and start implementing carefully, keeping in mind success factors and pitfalls. Are you ready then to revolutionize your own industry? Try to creatively learn from the giants whose shoulders you are standing on. Think big and think different. Steve Jobs did it, so why can't you?
So thank you everyone, and hope you all got what exactly innovation is. From now, student representatives will continue how we promote and make impact using innovation in Medicap's Innovation and Incubation Center. Over to you, Brittany.
Pratik, who is coming next? Please raise your hand.
Okay, thank you, Pratik. Now I will be taking the presentation forward to the Design Innovation Center team. Let's move on. I'll be presenting you a very short video to get you yourselves introduced to graphic designing. What we know until now is very little about graphic designing. Otherwise, it is a huge field. Okay, so now when we know a bit of understanding about graphic designing, our next point of discussion is who is a graphic designer? What are his or her responsibilities and skills? So graphic designer can be said as a visual storyteller who gives you all the information along with a message that you can remember for a more longer time in comparison to a normal text. Graphic designer creates attractive visuals. He or she deals with typography. That means the font styles, font sizes, colors, color combinations, illustrations, and many more. A graphic designer also has to deal with videography or a bit of animation and motion graphics. Let's move forward. Now we have a common myth that if you want to be a graphic designer, you should be very good with pen paper skills. That means you should be able to draw or sketch with the help of pencils or paintings and etc. But it is not at all required. What you want is tools and technologies. Let's see what tools and technologies we need to be a graphic designer. Before going to the number of tools that are out there in the market, which include Adobe, InDesign, Illustrator, Photoshop, Canva, Sketch, Figma, etc. One important thing is Which tools should we select? I'll brief you a little story, or not a story, just some words. Harry Potter, when unarmed, is a great wizard. We all know that. But when he's armed with his phoenix feathered Hollywood wand, he becomes the greatest of all wizards, right? Similarly, you might be very well at creativity, but if you do not select the right tools, you would be nowhere in this world, because there are a lot of graphic designers out there. And to stand along with them, you want your wand. And what is your wand? Is your tool. Let's see, move forward to how you can use these tools actively. So, with the tools that we have, that is a graphic designer's wand, what I need to say is we can do innovation with the help of our tools. How? But without the tools, we can also do innovation. Let's see what a design thinking mindset is for innovation. First of all, you need to put yourself in the shoes of your user or your consumer. For a graphic designer, your consumer is the one who has hired you or for whom you're creating the designs. First, you need to think and act in a very human centered way. How? You need to collab with people from various areas, various professions. Maybe it be a doctor, an engineer, a fellow designer, or anyone else out there. You have to interact, get ideas from them. If you communicate with new people, you learn new languages, you get to exchange your ideas with diverse people having diverse mindsets. That helps you get innovative. In what way? Let's move. You need to explore the problems. Back on the slide, please. You need to explore the problem space. What I mean by that is you need to explore your question on the topic on which you are going to design. Then you have to create a design. After creating, you do not need to present it directly to the public. What you need to go through is you have to get a satisfaction from yourself, from your consumer, and from your hirer. After that, you get to embrace the uncertainty. How? If your design is rejected or if it has some issues, you do not need to worry about. You can simply go back, collaborate with more different people, work upon new ideas, and then finally, what you would have is an innovation in your hand, a new design with a radically amazing future. Next. Now we'll see how MIIC would help you and support you in this process of design thinking. The work that we usually deal with is UI UX designing. UI refers to user interface. UX is user experience. We'll move to the next slide. What user experience is, it deals with providing your user very smooth experience and very convenient navigation throughout the application. Well, if you get to stuck in a website or in an application and you do not know how to move forward or reach to a particular location where you want, you obviously are not going to use it any further and immediately uninstalling it. So to prevent that, we, the graphic designers, have user experience designing. What it is, it provides your user a very simple navigation and a good visuals. Along with user experience, you need to combine user interface designing. How? Because this is the aesthetic appearance that your user is actually going to view. If your application is enhanced, your interface is made attractive, it is visually simulating, then obviously your user is going to give you very good remarks. Next, please. In MIIC, we usually conduct a lot of workshops, out of which two have been listed here, which is Adobe Photoshop and motion graphics. How these workshops help? Because these are held to maintain a skillful interaction and communication between the team members. These skillful interactions help you develop your ideas in a very brainstorming manner. A workshop at MIIC usually ends with a project to work. A project is a practice, and a practice makes you perfect. We all know that. And next, please.
One minute, yeah.
Yeah, sure. These are a few of designs that are made by our members. You could also be here if you work hard. The next thing we have is motion graphics. Motion graphics is basically short visuals or videography. Here's an example.
Audio Jungle.
This amazing video was from our team, which is then a video of an upcoming event. Well, when you have a group of similar-minded people, you would improve at a rapid pace and would be aware of the latest trends and technologies so that you don't get lag behind. This is how MIIC would help you. Thank you. The next convener of the session is Ronak. She will be taking you through the web department.
Ronak, you unmute yourself. I have given you the permission. Yes.
So, a very warm welcome to everyone present here. I am Ronak Sharma on behalf of Web Development Team is here to present the presentation of the idea and innovation as web developers. So, next slide. So, briefly explaining what is web development. Web development is the task associated with developing websites for hosting via the internet. The process includes web design, web content development, client-side or server-side scripting, and network security configuration, among other tasks. Briefly explaining, web development can range from developing a simple single static page of plain text to complex web applications. Next slide. Web development is generally broken down into two phases or two sides, that is front end and back end. Front end is also known as user facing side, whereas back end is known as server side. Front end is the part of the website that the user interacts with directly, also refers as client side. Some of the languages of front end are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, where the structuring of the web page can be done by HTML, designing by CSS, and interactivity is provided by JavaScript. Sass, Less, Bootstrap are some other languages which are used in front end. Some of the frameworks and libraries which are part of front end include React.js, Angular, Vue, Svelte are frameworks. Coming on backend is that part of the website that the user cannot see and interact with. The backend is the server side of the website. It stores and arranges data. Backend is included with activities like writing APIs, creating libraries, and working with system components without user interfaces or even system of scientific programming. Some of the languages that are included in backend include PHP, C++, Python, Java, Node.js, and JavaScript. JavaScript can be used both as front-end and back-end. Next slide. Now, talking about the innovation technique. So what is innovation in web? How the process is done? What are the key points that will be included here? So first, the amount that a web changes depends on user needs, the nature of the domain information. That briefly explains about we should always focus on the innovation that focuses on the needs of people and brings ease to an individual's life. One person can't achieve everything, So it's all about teamwork and playing a role there. So the key to approaching this need is that plans should be reevaluated. Whatever the work or idea you are working at, you should re-evaluate and check whether every work is being conducted in a consistent manner. Teamwork is very important for planning, analysis, design implementation, and promotion of the web. Need to communicate with each other. There should be group discussions where you can tackle every problem. Next slide. Now, what innovation are we heading towards? What are the strategies? What will be the working idea, and what is the idea we are working for? Next slide. So the innovation that inspires us is we have got the inspiration from Urban Company. Now, for those who don't know what Urban Company is, Urban Company was founded in 2014. It is an Indian gig marketplace that offers home installation, maintenance, repair services, beauty products, selling of goods, massage therapy, cleaning, plumbing, carpentry, etc. So these are the maintenance that are provided by Urban Company. The vision of the company is to empower millions of service professionals across the world to deliver services at home like never seen before. You need not to go to the place and get services done. Either they'll come to your home and provide you services. Next slide. So, what if we are getting the inspiration from the idea of Urban Company? What difference are we creating, and what are the differences that we are heading towards? There are 4 key points which are mentioned here. First one, like connecting various rural area salons. We are trying to connect major number of salons so that a candidate can choose the salon of his preferred choice. Second, like providing services in rural areas. Unlike Urban Company, which by its name is only mentioned that it provides the services only in urban cities, that is large cities like Chandigarh, Punjab, Bhopal, Bangalore, etc. We'll try to provide the services in rural cities too, so that every individual can equally access the services. Third one is like making the services affordable. Urban Company was providing the services which were so much expensive and average middle class people won't be able to afford. For covering that, we'll make the services affordable and everyone can access, and we'll do this by reducing the price of the maintenance, hosting, etc. Fourth point is like providing employment. We'll also provide employment. Now there will be a question that Urban Company was also providing employment and we are also providing. So the what will be the major difference? Yes, Urban Company was also providing employment, but only to professionals. So we will try to help people who got adversely affected and has small businesses too. We won't hire only people who are professionals at the services. We'll also hire everyone who can provide the services. Next slide. So technologies we will use and we are focusing are MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, Node.js, microservices, Docker. So these are new tools and technologies, and this will help us to keep up with the advancing of digital world. Next slide. So this was about the idea and where we got the inspiration, that is Urban Company, and what are the differences we have created. Now here there are some enlisted points which are involved in the strategies. So what will be the strategy of our working? So first of all, we here at MIIC, we believe that being good at a skill is not sufficient, but learning consistently is the key. For this, we have come up with the following strategies. First, contribute to open source to build a community and enhance your skills. We consistently contribute to communities and take part in several competitions and many other communities. Second, we try to help the developers community by providing solutions to errors at Stack Overflow, Discord, etc. We have conducted several webinars and workshops to encourage students to learn technologies and innovative ideas. We always, within a span of 1 month or 2 months, we conduct several webinars and workshops where we teach about technologies, new languages, and teach junior web developers and junior students, and also each one of us to how can we contribute to the innovation. Next slide. So we as a web development team are building a web community and working on innovation and ideas. Within a span of 15 to 20 days, we conduct several workshops on different technologies which are important for innovation, and also we also focus on to resolve peer queries and any errors if they are getting. We discuss that we manage so many group discussions and ask queries about people. We work with an enthusiastic team and believe that innovation achieved in a team is way bigger than achieved alone. So this is same as one person cannot do everything, like making a product or a website, hosting that, maintaining that, and to marketing. So here, team plays a major role. Every work should be conducted in parts. Each team player should contribute to the same. Next slide. So thank you. This was with my presentation. Hope you liked it and got an idea of the innovation we as web developers are heading towards and trying to build a huge difference in the digital world. Now I will forward the presentation to Yash and Naman Agrawal from Research and Development to further continue. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I, Yash Deshpande and Naman Agrawal are here on the behalf of Research and Development team to basically present you on the topic research and how research is related to innovation. So let's start by looking at a video which explains you what is research.
In most cases, we find that we just fall into research without knowing the how or the why. Sometimes just curiosity, sometimes academic pursuits of knowledge and recognition, and sometimes a deeper desire to contribute or solve a larger problem for society. Regardless of what your motivations for doing research are, it is important to take a step back and look at the broader picture. What is research? It always begins with a question used to discover or create new knowledge. It can involve the synthesis and analysis of existing knowledge in novel and creative ways to generate new concepts, methodologies, or understandings. Or it can be used to understand phenomena, improve existing solutions, revise accepted theories in light of new facts, or to generate questions for future inquiry. Research involves a purposeful and systematic investigation in search of an answer that has relevance to the world we are living in, thereby increasing knowledge. This occurs through observation, experimentation, gathering and analysis of information, or the collection of data in accordance with suitable methodologies and guidelines. It then involves critical analysis and interpretation of that information to ensure reliability and validity of the results. And finally, evaluation of the hypothesis or framework posed with support from the existing literature. The findings are designed to contribute generalizable insight for the research community. This can be through developing further ideas, applying new theories, solving problems, or improving understanding within the larger body of existing research knowledge. Ultimately, research is an original contribution, interpretation, or view that builds upon the work of the scholars in the field before us. Our research allows us to see further by standing on the shoulders of giants.
So as you all saw in this video, as you all saw in this video, it told us what is research. But to simplify it more further, I would like to explain it to you again that, Pratik, next. That research is nothing but it is defined as the creation of new knowledge with the use of existing knowledge. So we can tell that research is the process of discovering new knowledge. Now, when we try to bifurcate this new knowledge, what is this new knowledge that research is processing or discovering? This new knowledge can be anything. It can be a new concept. It can be a new methodology. It can be a new understanding. Thus, research is therefore used to find through what is known to what is not known, or we can say what we can develop further through research is what the purpose of research is. Next. When we talk about since Kratik already told, there are various definitions of innovation. So when we are trying to define research, then we are trying to link research to innovation. So first, let us understand innovation to this definition, that innovation is nothing but it is turning an idea into a solution that adds value from a customer's perspective. When we look at this definition, we surely understand what innovation is. Next. Now, when we try to relate research and innovation, so now we define innovation as turning an idea into a solution. Now the process of turning this idea into a solution is known as research. Research is nothing but it is a fundamental building block of the process of idea development. It is an intrinsic aspect of the idea development process. Research basically helps guide numerous decisions that turn an idea into an innovation. It basically uses existing knowledge, existing ideas to create a further innovation. That is how important research is in innovation. Some of you might have been thinking that what role does research play in converting an idea into an innovation? It is considered as a new investment in technology. It is considered as a future capability, which transforms any idea into a new product, into a new process, into a new service. So that's how important research is to innovation. Next. When we talk about idea life cycle, so what is idea life cycle? When we talk about converting an idea into a solution, so when we said that we convert an idea into a solution through research, but what are the factors considered in research so that we convert that idea into a solution? The first one is problem development. It is very important to fully understand that before applying any idea into implementation, we must fully understand the problem which we are aiming to solve using that idea. It is the basic concept of any research which we are trying to convert when we are trying to convert an idea into a solution. Next. Second point is market research. It is very important to have an idea about the market which we are aiming to target, so that the problem can be solved easily with the market's concerns. If we look at if we know about any idea, idea which we are trying to implement, the first and the second basic term would be to know about the market. Where are we trying to implement our idea? Where are we trying to consider the factors? What the factors will be when we apply onto those targets which we are aiming to solve. So that's how important market research is. Now I would like to handle it to Naman Agrawal.
Thank you, Yash. Kratik, next please. Competitive research. It involves identifying your competitors and evaluating their strengths and weaknesses. By looking your biggest competitors, you can see how your product and services can work to its best and understand the market. Next, Pratik. Thank you. Feasibility and requirement. Making a proper list of your requirements during the implementation of your idea is very important. It is the first step towards the implementation of your idea. Pratik, next please. Here are some examples of MNC who have invested in research and innovation significantly. Firstly, Amazon. Amazon has invested about $22.6 billion on R&D in year 2018. Its innovation can clearly be seen in its financial result, and it can be valued $1 trillion in 2018. Same goes for Apple and Starbucks. Pratik, next please. Role of research in MISC. MISC fosters innovation and research and entrepreneurial activities in technology-based areas. We provide a platform for startups by building entrepreneurs to convert their innovation ideas to a commercial viable products. We at MISC have different programs to help the above cause. We also provide services related to patterning and commercialization. I think next. Thank you. This was all from research department. Now I will like to call Aditi and Ashish to take over from here.
Okay.
Aditi, you may unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And please
Yep.
make sure we will wind up the session by 10 minutes. Will it be okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to quickly introduce myself. I'm Ashish Prajapati, event student representative at MIIC. As already mentioned before, innovation helps us to keep moving forward and keep ourselves in the market. There are many areas in which innovation leads to breakthrough and create a new market. One such industry that happens to be in a quite a demand nowadays is event management. Today, I will be covering these 6 key points. Backside, please. Okay. So what is event management? Event management in MIIC, 5 C's of event management, innovation in event management, customer satisfaction, new methods to increase customer satisfaction and consistency. Okay. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. Let's first take a look what is event management exactly means. Next slide, please, Pratik. Event management can be best described as the process of designing and producing events. It's a way to imagine, plan, and execute social and business events. It involves visualizing concept, planning, budgeting, organizing, and producing events. It perfectly a combo of creative and technical skills. Next slide, please. Next, please. Now, I would like to look at our next topic, what is event management in MIIC and how it will help in the functioning of the center. It's mainly work on planning, advisory, execution of events. It provides you active participation for planning and execution of events in MIIC and internally and externally, helps you to develop your soft skills as well as your technical skills. It gives you an ample opportunity to explore new domains and skills of execution of events. It helps you to expanding your network, thus giving more exposure to new perspective, ideas, teamwork, and skill sets. And now we move that what exactly event management. We can go ahead and discuss the 5 C's of event management. Next slide, please. So the first is concept. When you conceptualize your event, you create the framework from which it will grow. You need to consider why you are holding your events, who will be in attendance, when it will be, where it will be, and what will happen in the event. Next is coordination. When you have your concept, the planning can be begun. This is most likely one of the lengthiest part of the process because there will likely be quite a few things you need to cover. In coordination phase, you will be looking at like deciding on a nailing down a solid budget, drawing up an itinerary, searching for a venue, etc. And next up is control. Event control means just staying in control. Be sure to keep things tight and stick to your plan as far as possible. Diverging from the plan can possibly lead to wastage of resource like money and time for many people. Moving on, we have culmination, or also known as climax, refers to the D-Day of your event, the day when all your planning would be finally executed. This is the step where you will get to know how good your skills are and how successful the event turned out to be. After this come the closeout. The closeout phase is what comes after the event is over. This can include ensuring the venue is clean and tidy, and closeout also extend to a post-event management, such as getting feedback from clients, evaluating your performance, thanking attendees and staffs, and reviewing the budget, etc. Okay, Aditi, it's over to you.
Thank you. Now that we have covered the basics of any event that has to be conducted, we can take a look at some innovations in this area. So rather than just conducting simple meet and greet events, many innovations have recently come up in this field. For example, the first one is authenticity and personalization. So a lot depends on the authenticity of anything nowadays. So we have to make sure to keep our event as authentic as possible, which will help in attracting many participants. So for example, if you're organizing an event centered on social media marketing, then lectures or seminars with professional coaches or social influencers will make the event look and feel authentic. The next one is innovative added values. So added value has become an important point of consideration in modern event management as well as in many other areas. We can add little incentives such as free certificates, swags for the attendees post-event, which can prove to be extremely beneficial in the long run. The next one is casual networking spaces. Events can prove to be an excellent place for organic networking to happen. And networking can be advantageous for both the organizer and the attendees. It can be a breeding ground for new and novel ideas for further innovations. And with this point, we come to a last innovative idea, which is applicative workshop development. During your event, it's very possible that people with the same or a slightly different perspective mingle with each other, and they may create or have an idea for a new product, service, or business. So it becomes very important that these prototypes, ideas, or items should be marketed to potential companies for further refinement. In this way, you are not only conducting a successful event, but your event can be a source of new successful ideas. After carefully planning your event, the next big thing is customer satisfaction and feedback. According to McKinsey reports, at least 70% of the customer's journey is based on how the customer feels like they are being treated. So naturally, the next question that arises is how do you improve customer satisfaction? And more importantly, what is customer satisfaction? So customer satisfaction can be defined as how the happiness or how happy or satisfied your customers feel after using your products or services. It can be reflected in how they rate your business and how they refer it to their friends or families. Since almost all businesses and ventures thrive on customer satisfaction nowadays, it becomes very important to keep updating your services and products to keep the customer satisfied. We'll be mentioning some of the techniques for which we can improve customer satisfaction. Next slide. Some of them are the first being understanding your customers. So obviously understanding the psychology of your customers based on the demographic, age, gender, etc. can prove to be very vital to any event or service. Next, maintaining customer service etiquette. It's no surprise that businesses that maintain basic service etiquettes and are prompt do amazingly good in the market. So therefore, setting some ground rules on how to communicate with your customers can go a long way. The last point here is helping your customer help themselves. So self-service support works well as one of the alternative methods to reduce the customer service gap. Letting your customers help themselves can prove to be very profitable for you as you get to know what your target groups want from you and where you are lacking in your services. Next slide. At last, this picture here very aptly describes the whole industry of event management. And with this, we come to the end of our presentation, and we hope that you were able to learn some new things from us. And I'll give over to Abhilasha now, who is a student representative from the Marketing and Management Department.
Hello, everyone. I am head of Marketing and Management Department, representing the Marketing Management Department. Marketing is all about business and promoting our strategies of promoting our business. And managing all of these things is management. Marketing, as we all know, as you have seen in past presentations, it is a backbone of any business organization. It is the act of understanding whether a customer what wants and satisfying the present technological needs of the customer. Identifying the bigger opportunities, which comes up with an opportunity strategy and with a profitable capital. Next. Our objective is to make aware the students about marketing strategies, build them, create their own strategies for influencing the customers, and enhance the understanding of a management and marketing problems simultaneously. Next. It's a roadmap which we have divided into 3 steps. User engagement, which we all know. Our customer engagement is really important. Our current strategies will tell you how we are able to implement all of these in a very successful manner. Next. User engagement. As everyone explained, customer satisfaction is everything. Making a good, healthy relations with them and making it successful deal is all we want. Next. Current strategies. We have some strategies lined up. Next. These are the strategies. Marketing campaigns, which is really important. Creating our leads in the market, which will help us market well. Organic leads, which are there in the market. Increasing the skill set. FESTEL and SWOT analysis, some B2B and B2C analysis done in the market, ways and strategies to implement the solution of a particular problem in minimum period of time so that we do not lose our customers and get a greater capital in return. Next. We have some planned activities during our club so that the members can get connected to each other and work together in the market to fulfill our product. Digital marketing seminars and social media marketing, which is one of the most recent strategies of building the network. Promoting our workshops, which is lined up in the next slide. Next. Some communication, as we all know, it leads to gaining all your users and your market. How to make your product sell and make it a niche better product, which is lacking in the market. Methods of pitching so that your customers can be very well acquainted with what you are and how you are dealing in the market. Know more about LinkedIn, as it is one of the greatest market where you can get jobs, where you can promote your products. And lastly, social media marketing. Next. So here was the marketing department. I hope you like all the presentations so far. Thank you.
So anything else? Pratik is over.
Yes, ma'am. It's over. We are open to the questions. If they want to
Okay,
ask
okay.
anything.
So thank you very much, dear members of MIIC and Innovation Ambassador, for putting so much efforts to make the participants understand about the innovation. I would like to add few lines in it that things will not change in one day or overnight. First of all, we have to change our mindset, our observations, our attitude. And if we have willing to do something different, then only we can proceed with the innovation. We can talk endlessly day and night about the innovations, what the world is doing on innovation. And you might have observed that we as a India country is a developing country. If we will talk about US, UK, and other country, they are the developed country. So you might have observed that why they are developed country and still we are developing country. They are doing innovation from decades. And now only we are starting realizing that what is innovation, why we are required to do the innovation. So we have to be very vigilant, very observant. We have to see our nearbys, that which type of problem the people are facing. And definitely from that problems, you will come up with the innovative ideas. So with these words, is there any question? Is there any question? We can take one or two because we are already running out of time. We are supposed to wind up this by 2:30. But anyways, I will appreciate the efforts which has been put by the team members. So any other questions? We can take one or two. So I think there is no question. Jathar sir, over to you. Jathar sir, am I audible? Can you hear us?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
I was muted, therefore I could not reply.
Okay, okay. No issue.
All of you are requested, all the participants are requested to fill the feedback form. The link is already shared in the chat box. Please do fill the feedback form so that we can know where we are lagging, where we can improve upon in arranging, in organizing such events. So all of you are requested to fill the feedback form. It will hardly take 2 minutes. So thanks, Sarita madam. Good afternoon to one and all. With this important session, it's now the time to say thanks to the contributors of this event. I am Sanjay Jathar, member MIIC, present here to deliver the vote of thanks. No doubt innovation is presently the most sought after practice. Academic institutions and industries are equally concerned towards innovation. Academic institutions and their incubation centers organize competitions to invite innovative ideas from their students, which can be converted into product or service and encourage students towards entrepreneurship. Industries focus on innovation in their products or services so as to retain as well as expand the customer base and its perception and stay ahead in the competition. Aspiring entrepreneurs should understand that future businesses can sustain in long run if they are based on new ideas. Today, we had a team of students associated with MIIC who use innovation during execution of the events. First, Mr. Kratik Rathi very well focused on the many aspects of innovation. He very well explained the meaning of innovation, its definition by industry experts with many examples. He also discussed the different innovation strategies and how to convert the innovation to value creation. The concept of innovation value chain, the concept of innovation metrics was worth noticing. Later, Ms. Brittany Porwal discussed how the graphic designer has to be innovative so that he or she can be successful. It needs design thinking for introducing a catching graphics. Mr. Ronak Sharma later on explained explained technical aspects of web designing and how innovation can be implemented in web designing. Mr. Yash Deshpande and Naman Agrawal later focused on what is research and why innovation is important in research. Lastly, Mr. Ashish Prajapati and Ms. Aditi Arya focused on how implementing innovation can make an event successful. I, on behalf of Medicaps University and Medicaps Innovative and Incubation Center, offer thanks to the team of Mr. Kratik Rathi, Ms. Brittany Porwal, Ms. Ronak Sharma, Yash Deshpande, Mr. Naman Agrawal, Ashish Prajapati, Aditi Arya, and I'm sorry I could not take the name, Abhilasha Jairat for active participation in this event. They emphasized, explained, they took many examples, they used many examples, and with that examples they explained their concepts and why innovation was important in all these events. They very well explained. On behalf of Medicaps Incubation and Innovation Center, I convey sincere thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. D.K. Patnaik for his motivation and support that inspires us to regularly hold such events. I also sincerely thanks Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. D.K. Panda for encouraging us to organize such events. Thanks to Dr. Pradyuman Yadav, Registrar, for his support and providing the facilities for smooth conduction of this webinar. Thanks to Dr. Sarita Kansal, Professor in charge MIIC, Professor Ram Janam Singh, Head ECell, and the members of MIIC for their support to organize the webinar. Sincere thanks to Mr. Surikant Soni, Ms. Payal Somani, and Mr. Gajen Singh for their regular back-end support. And at last, but not the least, special thanks to all the participants, faculty members, as well as students whose presence made this webinar interactive and encouraged us to organize such events in future also. I hope that we all have understood the importance of innovation in different events and why it is important. So thanks again to all the speakers who have actively participated in the event. Again, participants are requested to fill the feedback form. We'll wait for another 1 minute.
सर आपने स्नैपशॉट ले लिया?
हाँ ले लिया मैडम.
Should I request the speakers to switch on their videos?